The stick concept is a staple in almost every offense in every league at every level. It is so widely used because of its ability to win versus multiple coverages and its versatility as a concept. Stick itself is made up of a stick route, something to the flats, and something pressing vertical. Let's take a look at the diagram so we can work through the progressions and break down the full play. All right, so here is our stick combination from a 3-receiver set. Here is our stick route, right? This is a stick or an option. If we get any type of press in this situation or the area gets covered, then we can break and run an out route and win out here. We have our something to the flats. This could be a bubble, this could be a flat route, or it could be an out route. It doesn't really matter how you want to set it up. Either way, you have to draw a flat defender out here with this, and then this is our something vertical. Now, what you do on the back side, it does not matter. You can have whatever you'd like, but if you watch a lot of NFL teams, what they like to do is set this up as a 1, 2 to 3. So they have a pure progression across the field. That's why this dig is quite nice on the backside. It also works out well with the timing. And then you have a check down over here in the flats. Now we have this go ball here on the outside. If you have off coverage, we can take a mandatory outside release here. If we have press, you take the best release. And this is really what we're doing is we're alerting. That's what this means, AL alert. If we get the right coverage, we can take this shot from a quarterback's perspective. So maybe we have a really good matchup. We like this guy versus this guy. So we just catch it and throw the fade, very simple read. But if we want to stick with our normal progression, we're going to be 1 to 2, reading outside in, to 3, and then here's our check down. So this is also going to be paired with a 5-man protection right here. So you can do a big on big, you can do a quick half slide, and here where these guys are manned up, so we have zone here, man here, or it could be a pure big on big. So we're taking here, tackles, stay on the defensive ends, we're setting, and if we have a 1 tech here, we're going to get a double up to the mic. So we have really, in this situation, we're going to have 4 down, 1, 2, 3, 4, plus the mic, right? 4 down plus the mic. That'll be the big on big protection. All right, so now that we have a basic understanding of what the play really is, let's go ahead and look at some of the film so we can see how teams are using this. All right, so here is an empty version of stick. This is going to be the stick route. Here's going to be the out. He's got the go ball. And now what they do up top is they do have the dig, but they run this as a dagger concept. So really, they can read both sides. If he wants to read dagger, it can just be a 1 to 2, and then maybe come down to a check down depending on what they have as a rule for him coming in. Or it could be a 1 to 2 to 3. He always has this alert if he wants to match up, but this corner's playing real far off. I doubt he's going to go there. So we're looking at a big on big protection here, quick game. All right, if he wants to go to the stick side, which he looks over here, he ends up getting pressure, so he has to bounce out. But we can see how the play actually works here. All right, this defender has to be caught in a bind here because he's got to chase this out route. If he doesn't, then this is wide open, okay? If the corner ends up sitting here, then we have this hole shot that we can take. That's the alert, okay? So this is really how this works out. This is the triangle that we're really looking to target with this. Now let's look at how offenses easily tweak the stick concept and kind of have a little counter to this. So if you break on the stick concept, what do? Let's take a look at the film. So what we're gonna have here is we're gonna have a stick nod. We're gonna have this little out and back in, or a China route, however you wanna call this. And then over here, he's gonna motion out to the slot and he's gonna have a little option route. In this case, he likes to break inside. Option routes, a lot of the time, if you have them, breaking inside is where the space is gonna be at. Right, so then this guy, Mike, ends up taking this stick, plays this. Safety also has to be aware of this stick nod. And then we get a true one-on-one here in this situation when we have this outside release fade by the bottom receiver. We get this nice option route, easy break inside, good 5 to 10 yards right here. Everything else stays the same. If you look at the stem of all of these routes for the stick, when we look at the breaking point, stick, out, go ball. And the only thing that changes is now we work here and we work back in underneath. All right, and then we also have this option here. You can do whatever you want on this side, but either way, you'd like to have some type of triangle with this. So whether it's this and a slant or something like that, but you need to have some version of a triangle. You could also run a snag variation with this as well in case you want to have this man coverage look and take this shot here. And now let's jump into a really cool variation of this, a slot fade variation versus a one high safety look. All right, so what they're gonna do here is they're gonna run stick, and if this space is covered, he can break and run the out. He is now gonna take the flat route up top, and then we have this slot fade variation as the number 2 receiver. So we still have the deep, we still have the stick, and we still have the flat. So we still have the triangle read here, but we're just switching responsibilities as to who's actually running what. Now this is a really good option if you get a 1 high safety look, because if the corner presses and we get a man coverage shot, this is a lot easier to throw, and it's also a better matchup that we have. A tight end or a slot receiver versus a linebacker or a safety. We like that matchup. Now what ends up happening here is the corner ends up bailing, and when this occurs, then this really just becomes a seam, right? He's just gonna continue bending this right back inside, and now essentially we have a version of a Hoss concept. Also, so let's watch what this receiver does up top. Notice he's gonna press vertical. He's not just gonna run a stay route. You could do that, but pressing vertical a lot of the times will get this guy to think, okay, this is a hitch, and have him jump if his responsibility is the flats, and that opens this up a lot easier. So this little version, hitch, hinge, whatever you wanna do, a quick 5 yards and settle down is pretty solid for this. And let's look at what the Dolphins actually complete. They have this little hinge route or hitch or whatever you want to call this here at the bottom, an easy 6 to 7 yards. Okay, ball's a little bit underthrown, but this should be caught around the sticks. This is a really good call here. If you get a 1 high safety look, you get a man coverage, you should be able to win this matchup on this route. So if you have a speedy guy here, it's a really good option. Now up to this point, we've only really talked about it from a 3 receiver set, but stick can be run with a 2 receiver set as well. Let's go ahead and look at the diagram to see how we would do that. All right, so notice we still have the stick, the flat, and the go ball. That same triangle read, we still have that, but we get there in a different way. We can have our T run this route, getting out our tailback, getting out into the flats, and that's our first read. And then we have this little stick route here by the Y. Now notice we don't have this option to break out here, okay? Because the timing of this will not work out as well. We need this to be more of the snag type of look where we sit inside and we have the running back work outside. That's really the way that we have to operate this thing here. You can press straight vertical, that's also fine, but either way, you cannot break and run this out. Okay, now we also have the dig on the back side. So we have 2 different triangles here. We've got this triangle here, and we've got this triangle here, okay? Football is all about triangles. My players know this. They know that I absolutely love to talk about triangles all the time. It's my fun little hobby. Okay, so we're gonna work 1 to 2 to 3 on this. All right, now let's take a look at what we have here from our H. So this is gonna be a little bit of a stutter, and then work and break out. Not every route needs to be full speed. You don't want it to be full speed. You have to make sure that the timing works well to go from 1 to 2 to 3 to check down. If he runs a 5-yard out, he's going to be all the way out by the sideline by the time the quarterback actually is able to go through this read. So you need this guy to take his time, and this really becomes a get open type of route with this check down here. All right, and then finally, I want to show you guys what this looks like as an RPO, because this can be a really effective concept for the run game as well. Not only quick game, but also in the run game. Let's check out the diagram. All right, so we got a 3 receiver set on this side, single receiver over here. We're running the ball right now. So this is gonna be an inside zone, but we have man blocking on the backside. So zone play side, man blocking backside. This is gonna end up as here, we're covered, we're uncovered, we help play side, and then climb up to our will here. Man up, and then what we're gonna do as a quarterback is we're gonna read this mic. Okay, if we get a 2 high safety look, we're gonna read this mic here. If we get a 1 high safety look, we can always come to the weak side here, or we have the ability to throw this slot fade if we want to, but 2 high safety look, we're gonna read this mic. Inside zone here, if he commits, right, then we're gonna pull and fire the stick route. If he stays wide or stays put and he can make a play on this, then we're just gonna give the ball and let the running back run inside zone. So this is a way of us changing the numbers. So right now, this is a 5-on-5 look, where normally, if we're running regular inside zone, it is a 6-on-5 look, unless we have to option the defensive end. But either way, we're gonna have to leave someone unblocked, and in this case, it's a 2nd-level defender, and we just tag the stick concept to this. I really like this version because you have the ability to adapt this and say, hey, if we get a press on the backside, we can throw the fade, easy completion. If we get press at the corner position and a 1 high safety look, easy completion. If we get off coverage, we can take this over here. If we get 2 high safety look, we can take this right in here. And if they end up playing this, then we can just hand the ball off and play the numbers game and run the ball. All right, so that about covers the stick concept. As you can see, there's a ton of different ways in which you can use this. And again, that is why this is so widely used. You can use it in the pass game. You can use it as a shot type of play. You can use it as an RPO. You have different versions with it where you can tag anything you want on the backside. You can throw a dig and make this be a pure progression here. A lot of ways you can run the stick concept. All right, guys, so that is it for the video. Hopefully you guys got some good information on the stick concept and have a good idea of how you want to use that moving forward. If you want to take your knowledge to a whole different level, check out my 90-day OC course. There's a ton of stuff in there. There's going to be a link below in the description. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.